Huge fan of MotoGP and love keeping up to date with what those guys are doing.
You find your name in the back and you say, hey, I'm in Cycle News.
It's great to see Cycle News come back and have a digital version of it to where you can see all the pictures.
Be eco-friendly, I guess you could say.
You're saving some trees, but still get your information and still the same quality as it's always been.
Instead of having to wait for it to come in, it comes to you right there.
You could get a collection of the weekly events in one place quickly.
It's like they give us the same amount of exposure as they give Supercross and road racing.
I can pull it up whenever I want. I don't lose back issues.
Cycle News is like the Bible for me, man.
This is the future, and the future's now. My earliest experience with Cycle News was actually as a 10-year-old kid reading about my dad in there. He actually worked out of Don Vesco's shop down in El Cajon. So I remember the Cycle News would show up on the Wednesday and then he'd bring a copy home and I'd be able to look through the Cycle News at that point.
Our company's 38 years old this year and ever since I was a kid growing up, running around the shop, there's always a stack of Cycle News. They never seem to get thrown away.
Just to have your name in it, just to turn a page someplace and see your name in Cycle News was a big deal for all the guys racing.
I think the thing that made it so special is that there was guys that were ruling the world, the best Supercross, the best motocross riders ever in the same magazine as me. Of course, we were a few pages back and the print was a little bit smaller from my name, but they covered so many races.
When it came in, I used to look forward to, seeing a little 259, out there.
You can see yourself in there and, work your way up the ladder. I was a really young kid on 85s and they always had great write-ups.
And I would love every time there was a Grand National half mile somewhere in the Midwest, and I would just be reading about what those guys are up to.
Keeps you in the know. It was, definitely all the coolest news out there and the latest story.
Cycle News is very important for the motorcycle market, and I think we found that out when it went away for the short spell that it was gone.
Totally bummed. I mean, that's why when I heard Cycle News was going away, I'm like, we can't let that happen.
A lot of my sponsors really appreciate the amount of exposure I get in that, and I was wondering how I'm going to come back to them and ask for support next year without the exposure of Cycle News.
It's been quite interesting to see Cycle News go away and then actually come back.
I mean, when you see it in the format that it's in now, you're just like, wow.
Everybody has all kinds of gadgets and devices.
An iPod, a BlackBerry, an iPhone, all these things that you can access basically the world.
I mean, obviously I'm thrilled about it because I've been involved for 25 years prior, and then now I get to take on this new challenge of doing it in a different way.
The photography is exceptional. I've never seen a printed issue that has that type of photography in it.
Really, we can run as many photos now as we want. Before, it was always a space limitation. It also allows us the use of video that obviously you can't use in print.
We do have a search feature where you could type in a product or a rider's name, or if you're an advertiser and you want to see if your product's been mentioned, you can type that in there. It'll search all of those back issues right away.
Man, I've got it everywhere. I've got it on my phone, my iPad, my computer, it's great. I can find it.
It's a reading experience with the photos and the different layouts and things like that that you just don't get from a website. I think the biggest thing for an advertiser is they obviously have web banners and there's print ads. And I think what Cycle News is able to do is bring those two things together. The benefit you get from a print ad is the whole reading experience of seeing it in that magazine, having it next to editorial that has nice layouts and nice photos. The website is banner ads, click-throughs, videos, etc. Well, what we've been able to do with the digital edition is bring those together.
And they kind of own the page. So as you're flipping through the issue, when you come to that page, you still own that page. If it's a spread especially, you own two pages.
An advertiser can have a display ad that looks beautiful, next to editorial that looks beautiful, but he's also can embed video in there. The reader can click on any particular part of the ad that the advertiser wants, and it takes him to whatever website or wherever that advertiser would like that reader to go.
We had a great ad in one of the recent issues from BTO Sports where they had 10 different sets of gear. On that one page, they could click to 10 different sections within their website. It is very limitless. In fact, we're just scratching the surface right now. It's really great to see what some people are doing. Kawasaki did a really great ad where on the same ad there was two different bikes, a 250 and a 450. From that same ad, you could click to the 450 and it went to that section of their website with the video and the information about the 450. And then on the other link, it went straight to the information in the video about the 250s.
And it's really whatever they come up with, we can make it work for them.
When Ryan Dungey won one of the Supercrosses earlier this year, Suzuki ran a great win ad, victory ad, just like they would normally run in the publication, but they also ran the RMZ 450 commercial.
You could do whatever you can possibly come up with, and we can make it work, because in this format, we have the ability to use all those things and bring them all together.
On Tuesday morning when it comes out, I don't have to wait and see if mine's going to be in the mail. As much fun as that could be when you're a kid, now I just want to see it. Did I make the cover? God!
I think the digital version delivers much more than the printed version ever could.
Now I just have to unfold my iPad and touch the app, and I'm scrolling through it like that. And
My life kind of revolves around Cycle News. It's the best speedway races,
MotoGP, Supercross, motocross, off-road, everything.
international.
It's cool to see what the off-road guys are up to and how they're finishing, and that way I'm not clueless when I get to the shop.
A lot of people just have to give it the chance, because, and again, I'm old school, you know, I came from 25 years of doing it the old way, and all of a sudden it is a new platform, but it's impossible to not say, wow, that's really freaking cool.